Yes, it is raining almost.
Okay. And I think it's been more than a week now that we've heard about this change in the weather conditions up north.
Yeah, it is because we, back to back experiencing the rains, almost at least rains. Yeah,
Okay. And these are very untimely rains because a lot of crop in Punjab has also been ruined because of
yeah,
this
yeah, yeah. Most of the people, yes.
unpredictable rain. So I was
Yeah.
just reading about it a few days ago in the papers. Okay, Rani. So shall we go ahead with the topic for today? Did you see the topic?
Yes, yes, yes. I saw.
Okay. And are you up for it? Do you want to change the topic? How is it?
Yeah, no problem at all. It's
All right, lovely. So tell me, do you belong to the category of people who feel that cars are more of a comfort thing or product, and it should be chosen depending upon the economy or the affordability of the person and of course the family size? Or do you belong to the category where you have a different passion for this altogether, where it really doesn't matter what space it gives or what kind of economy are you able to maintain, but it's more about how powerful the vehicle is and what kind of a road presence it has? So firstly, let's talk about which category do you belong to.
uh, if you ask me about my opinion, then I will definitely go with because uh, I came from a middle class family, so we always think about first economy. That's is it
Absolutely.
there? Is it there in our that structure or not? And then
Absolutely.
thereafter, when you are having that set of mind, and after that you start selecting the different type of colors, the different type of comfort. So yeah, I belong to that category. Yeah.
Okay. So you are somewhere in the middle because you start with the more obvious and the more pragmatic or practical questions where you talk about whether it is affordable, whether it will be economical, whether the whole family will be comfortable in that vehicle. And then you go on to more like, okay, what models or color would you rather want to buy? Right. So let's talk about the first car that you owned, Rani.
I think the first car I owned, it was Maruti 800, the first time. It's way back, I think, for more than 20 years back.
Hmm.
Now it is only just there, standing there, being my first car.
But you
And
still have it. My God, that's a big
yes,
thing.
yeah, that it is just only there.
Okay.
And yeah, after that, I went for another one that is for Swift. And likewise, enjoyed the comfort of the Swift. Most of the time here at my place, people would love to go for the Maruti cars earlier, not now, earlier, because
Hmm.
of the reason this is a hilly state and you do not have much space for the cars, even on the roads.
Hmm.
And that was the reason the first choice most of the times they go with those cars, those who are little bit, they comes with the smaller size as compared to the rest of the cars. But now as we have now the open roads, double or a triple or a maybe like that, so people prefers now the rest categories of the cars as well.
Okay. And definitely, I think if you compare it to what it was a couple of decades ago, today the number of options have also become way more. Back in the day,
Right.
I think the certain category or the certain bracket, income bracket, had very limited number of cars. But when you think about it today, you have more number of options, and I think the second hand car market has also developed leaps and bounds. So earlier you never thought of it because it was people were more worried about the condition of the car or how it has been maintained by the previous owner. But nowadays it has become a general practice that people don't buy a car and then directly give it away when the entire life is over. They tend to maintain it in such a way that there will be a good value which can be received while selling it, right? So that also makes a lot of difference in the usage of these vehicles, right?
Right, right.
So, Rani, considering the that you have the option of driving better cars and better scenarios where you can drive these cars. So, if money was not a problem, if money was never to be brought into the picture, you could pick any car that you want. Which one would it be and why?
Definitely, then I love to go with the Mercedes or the Rolls-Royce. Yeah, they are at the top. Yeah, definitely.
But I think then you'll also have to go ahead with a chauffeur, because the whole point of these cars is that they are more comfortable as a passenger,
Yeah, yeah, that's definitely.
right?
In that case, you just have to have somebody there for you. Yeah,
Drive that car
yeah,
around. And like I was really fond of Wellfire, and I think there are a couple of cars which have come in that same range. There is something called an Alphard, that's I think Nissan Motors, and this one Wellfire is by Toyota. So majorly expensive cars, like way above a crore or something. And the whole point is that if you buy that car and you have to drive yourself around, then it completely fails the whole purpose,
yeah,
because the whole
definitely.
comfort of that car is in the rear, in the
Right.
passenger seats. So this space and bucket seats and leg space and enjoying a separate sort, not a table, it's a stand for you to keep your mobile, your tabloid, and your tablet, and putting water or bottle or something like that. So the whole experience is for the people who are sitting in the passenger seats and not the people who are driving it. So I think these luxurious cars should have the people who buy them should also have a budget to keep a chauffeur for that,
Yeah,
right?
definitely. Yeah.
Okay. So, Rani, tell me currently, who, according to you, is the Mughal of this sector of the passenger vehicles? Who do you think is leading the scene?
Uh, I actually don't have idea. But one thing is very sure that now Indian companies, even they are doing very well as far as the India is concerned. Though there are many lovers of the different type of cars also, but yes, in India, most of the cars, whether that comes from the Mahindra or the Tata, most of them, yeah, common people, even it is not only for the commons, but yeah, way beyond to that also. Now peoples are preferring from their Indian companies also. So that's somewhere that I think people are using.
Okay. So there is development in all the sectors, like all the vehicle sectors, along with the branding, of course. So, I remember when long ago Tata had launched Nano, and
Right,
uh, the whole idea was to make a four wheeler affordable to the lower middle class, right?
right.
Because for the middle class and the upper middle class, there were a lot of options, but for someone who was barely able to make ends meet, he or she could not even dream of owning a car, but Nano made that possible, right? Now, since then, a lot of such ideas have been floated in the market. For example, banks are making it easier. There are the options of second hand vehicles, as we spoke of. So, the whole factor of affordability has definitely risen. People have been, are today able to spend more, and there is the concept of having a four wheeler for even a lower middle class family man, right? So, my question is, for a country like India, which struggles with a lot of more severe issues, a lot of more serious issues, right? For example, even if we just take the vehicle, it's not about just owning the vehicle. It's about where do you drive, the prices of petrol or diesel, or the parking, the limited parking space that a person has. And of course, there is this whole point of underage people driving the cars or driving it under influence. So there are so many other things related to driving which are more graver issues. So, do you think a country like India should focus on making vehicles more affordable to everybody, or do you think there should be more focus on areas such as how to handle and manage the current number of vehicles in a proper way? I mean, if we are discarding them, if we are putting them in trash, then how well we are supposed to recycle, etc. All of those things. Where do you think should be the focus for the government today?
I think we need to have a balance, first of all, in both
Oh.
these cases, because new generation, they want to drive, they want to have the cars,
Mhm.
whatever it takes for them, they just want to have those things. So there is a necessity for the cars also, with the
Mhm.
kind of lifestyle they have.
Mhm.
Second thing is, as far as the old car or the rest of the cars, those we want or the government want to dismantle,
Mhm.
in that scenario, I think we just have to think about rest of the options.
Mhm.
Like if we are not being able to bring them on the road,
Mhm.
is it possible for that type of a vehicle that we use that for the farming or somewhere else where we are not bringing them on the road? So
Right.
I think this thing that we can use, and
Mhm.
whereas the second option is concerned, just only thinking about making new vehicles.
Mhm.
So yeah, to some extent, even because of the global market that is open for you, not only
Mhm.
in India but also abroad now, they are having, they are thinking that is the Indian products are now, they are having something, not it is not like China's product.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
we
Mhm.
have some reputation in the market as well.
Right. Right.
Because of those things, we can yes, try to uplift this business, being the whether that is for those companies,
Mhm.
but at the same time, we not only just try to dismantle the things only at the roads purpose, just think any other way where we can use them. So yeah, we can use in other ways as well. As I suggested, one, it can be used in farming, but is it feasible, or
Mhm.
is government going to allow them to use that vehicle at your farm or not? That is the another things. And if we talk about the fuel and the rest of the things, then definitely we just have to think about the fuels also, because Delhi, we have the example, because of that the
Yes.
pollution, enhancement in the pollutions, whereas at another part, we are facing at present a global issue where we are not being able to purchase a sufficient amount of fuels because of
Mhm.
the war. So even at that situation, we just have to think about the rest of the alternative as we have in the market, that may be in the form of electric vehicles.
Right, right. So there cannot be a complete dependence on any one resource, because I think the time for that is long gone. Now there has to be more of a hybrid dependence, right? Where there is a balanced approach to using petrol or diesel, EV, CNG, so that we are not completely lopsided and dependent on just one resource. So, if the dependability will be scattered or it will be well distributed, then we can make sure that all the resources are used in an optimistic way. And secondly, of course, the problem like we are facing currently, maybe we can avoid that to some extent, where we are so dependent on that oil, not just for vehicles but also for CNG, LPG, etc. So that also, such kind of situation can also be avoided, right? Okay. Now, when you think about how things were back in the day, where the number of cars were very, very few, very, very limited, and just the metropolitan cities like Mumbai and Delhi and Calcutta and Chennai had this major surge in the number of vehicles. But apart from that, it was very, uh, I can say, scattered over, very few places. So today, when I think of it, I feel that in the next few years, if the things don't change, we are probably going to try and go back to the older ways, where we preferred the public transport more. Or in fact, over here also, now I live in Mumbai, and the availability of public transport is so easy, it is so quickly available, that I never have to worry about having my own vehicle. There is the local train, there is the metro, there is the auto, the cab facility, everything is available, the bus also. So it makes me feel at ease. Even if I don't have a car or a two wheeler, I feel okay, it's fine. So I personally feel that gradually people are going to go back to that scenario, because driving in these situations or these conditions is progressively becoming more and more difficult. What is your opinion on that?
Yeah, I am on the same page at this point because of this new thing that, as you mentioned here,
Mm-hmm.
uh, because the way we are now seeing around us, the more and more vehicle, and it
Mm-hmm.
is highly unsafe to go and
Absolutely.
drive yourself. And yes, when you are more or less, you only just want to have a transportation for
Correct.
your destination. And
Mm-hmm.
if you also have a ease for that, that you need not to drive, and you have the you know world class comfort also available there in the vehicle that you are hiring at that moment. So yes, that is a very good option, and definitely we are going towards that direction also. And because of, again, let me tell you here, many a time we face that type of a situation on road, where no, every second person is fighting for this reason or that reason. And
Mm-hmm.
even nobody knows that at what moment even you can lose your control. So in that exchange of heated argument, anything may happen. So yeah, to be safe on those type of a situation, we just have to think about that also. And the best alternative is this, that use the public transportations with the good facilities. Yeah.
It definitely gives you a lot of peace of mind. And like you very rightly pointed out, people are very, very impatient these days. And I'm not pointing a finger at anyone, because I am sailing in the same boat myself. The minorest, the smallest of inconvenience causes me to lose my temper, or to completely ruin my day or my mood. So, and sometimes it so happens that we vent it out on the wrong people. For example, we have a fight somewhere else, we face some issues outside, and we come home and vent it out on our families, right? So it's definitely better to just try and save your peace of mind and your patience, and let vent it out at the right place at the right time, instead of unnecessarily getting worked up in such situations, right? Okay, then. So, Rani, we'll come to communication a little bit, okay, for the last 5 minutes of the session. Um, so, to begin with, definitely there is a good way of answering the questions. So, even if there is not a clear yes or no answer, you are able to tell about the inconclusiveness of the answer. Okay. See, when a question is asked, definitely it is not like we are expecting a clear cut reply, right? It's not like we want it either black or white, we want it either yes or no. if a person is not in a very clear state of mind, that would be good to know, right? That maybe I don't completely agree with this, but I don't completely disagree either. So in such a case, what we have to do is express our inconclusiveness clearly, right?
Right.
So maybe we can say, like you said about balancing the whole thing, where we spoke about, whether we should be more targeted towards rules and regulations, or more towards making it more affordable for the lower middle class, right? So you said that we need to strike a balance here. We cannot become more inclined in either direction. Okay, so that's a good way. How can we make this way better is if we try to, we say this first thing, that this is what my point of view is, and then we try to segregate both the points. So firstly, if we talk about making it affordable for the lower middle class families, definitely it's like a motivating factor. It makes them work harder, it makes them understand that there is a possibility, it gives them hope that there's a possibility for them to rise in the hierarchy of the society. Okay, so you give one point, you give the evidence or the supporting points, then you go to the next point and you say that at the same time we need to make sure that there are rules and regulations being followed thoroughly, because what is a road of any good if the more number of people driving on it are actually causing accidents rather than making it more convenient for the other people driving on the roads, right? So here you have the entire answer. We can just try and make it more wholesome by using the points in a proper presentation.
Right.
Okay, so that makes your answer very well prepared. Okay,
Right. Right.
so we just need to be a little bit more conclusive and a little bit more clear with what exactly we are trying to portray through our answers. Okay, now coming to the technical aspect, that is the grammar, we'll change a few things. For example, they comes, again, subject verb agreement, they come in smaller size. We will not say with smaller size. Okay, they come in smaller sizes. Instead of saying there are open roads, we can say there are wider roads. Narrower and wider roads will be better. People prefer and not prefers. Again, subject verb agreement. We will not use peoples, of course, and we'll not use the before India either. Okay. Government want to dismantle. Now, if you are using government as specific individuals, okay, but in this case, it becomes difficult to understand. So it's better to use government as a singular. Okay,
Okay.
so government wants to dismantle these vehicles. Okay, now I see a common error where I see the s being applied to the wrong places. For example, they have been ables to, or it keep thems. So what was actually needed was it keeps them. Okay,
Okay.
or has been able to, but instead of has, you've used it after able. Instead of keep, you've used it after them. Okay, so where we are using them as a complete phrase.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
so we need to be a little conscious about that usage. Don't use the before another, because another itself is an other. So an is an article, so we don't need an article before an article.
Okay.
Okay, so don't say the another thing, we'll just say another thing.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
and instead of saying things like at this reason or that reason, we can say this or that, or we can simply say one reason or the other. Okay, instead of
Okay.
saying this reason or that reason, uh, do not say at that situation, you can say in that situation.
Okay.
Okay, and when you say many a times, use s. Make the s clearly audible, because many, you are trying to say that it is countable, so then make it plural. Many a times
Okay.
it happens.
Many times. Okay.
Okay, but other than that, like I said, there is a good presentation, there is a good scope of making the answers more holistic, which of course practice will be able to help.
Okay.
Right? Okay, Rani. So, with that, we'll end the session. Thank you so much for joining, and you have a great evening ahead. Enjoy the rains.
Yeah, enjoying. Yeah.
All right. Bye bye.